Hello, Tekesai. How are you
Morning, Anai.
today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Well, I'm so excited to have you here today. Can you start by introducing yourself?
Yes, my name is Tekesai Manyande. I am a husband, a father, a family physician, and most recently, an entrepreneur.
Okay. And today we're going to be diving into the heart behind Beyond the Legacy Collective. But before we dive right in, let's start with the rapid fire session. Are you ready?
I'm ready, but
So, short answers. Okay. 30
okay.
seconds. I'll start. Where did you grow up?
Harare, Zimbabwe.
Do you have any nicknames?
I've had a lot of nicknames over the years. The most commonly used ones at this moment are Major and the Roadblock.
Okay. Best childhood memory?
That would be the Christmas parties we used to have in Zimbabwe, where all of our cousins, aunts, and uncles used to be meeting in one house. We used to meet in one house. It was so much fun, and that's something that I miss.
Okay. And vacation, like ideal vacation, beach or city?
Definitely city, preferably one with a rich history.
Okay. Favorite sports team?
That would be my first love was Highlanders, Chilamoya, Boso. That's actually three names for the same team, which is a football team from Zimbabwe. I remember when I was 6 or 7 years old, I used to wake up early in the morning to check the score because on Monday morning because we couldn't there was no internet and we couldn't see the score on TV. I think I had to go to sleep early. And I remember my dad was so impressed because he thought I was reading the newspaper at that age. And my ongoing love though is Arsenal Football Club.
Okay. And what's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is from Tupac. He said, "If you could walk a mile in my shoes, then you would be crazy too." To me, that means that there is a reason why everyone acts the way that they do. So try to understand them.
And what's the first thing you ever invested in?
Unfortunately, that was bank offered mutual funds.
Okay. And your favorite book or podcast?
Uh, I'd say probably David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. That book, it speaks about how disadvantages can be turned around and be springboards for people to do great things. So it got me just to look at life differently, including finances.
Okay. And the last one is finish this sentence. Wealth is.
To me, wealth is multifaceted. Yes, it includes having a lot of money, but also having great relationships with loved ones, a deep, intimate relationship with God, excellent mental and physical health, as well as ongoing purpose. And I mentioned the purpose one because I used to work at a seniors residence. I would say the average age of the residents was in the late 80s, 80 years old and plus. And unfortunately, I found most of them, they just wanted to die. And I believe that is because they no longer had a purpose.
Oh,
Or
well, thank.
I would say they felt like they no longer had a purpose.
Oh, that's rather sad. Okay, so that wraps up our rapid fire segment. That was awesome. It was really a little nostalgic for me being from Zimbabwe as well, especially about the Christmas celebrations. That was always something to look forward to every December. So thank you for sharing that memory with us.
No problem.
So Tekesai, let's dive deep into why we're here today. Can you tell us about who or what is Beyond the Legacy Collective?
Yes. Beyond the Legacy Collective, it is a company that offers people an investment opportunity with low risk to them.
Okay. And what does the name mean? Where did that come from? What inspired it?
The way we look at the name, so it's Beyond the Legacy Collective, to us, a legacy itself is something that can be truly amazing. So when we say Beyond the Legacy, we do not mean more than a legacy, but really it should be beyond, comma, the legacy,
I see.
meaning that our legacy is beyond. So whatever you can think of that's good, we would like people to think beyond that. Examples would be beyond the usual level of returns that people get from investment, beyond the usual level of customer service. And we just like people to have a vision for their lives that's beyond the norm.
Okay. And what inspired you to launch this organization? What brought this on?
I've had a desire for a long time to help other Black people. So that was a burning desire for many years. And then when I met Clement and Precious, they were like-minded with regards to helping other Black people and helping minorities in general.
And who are Clement and Precious?
Clement and Precious are the business partners. So there are three of us within the company.
Okay. Thank you. And what is the mission? What is the company's mission?
Its mission is to improve the lives of immigrants to Canada and second generation Canadians by providing them with good investment returns, which will in turn help them to improve their lives in general.
And was there a personal experience that shaped this mission or any inspiration behind it that you personally identify with or one of the other founders?
Yes, so I mentioned that I've had a desire for a long time to help other Black people, help minorities, but I didn't really put things into action. And then around August or September last year, I was reading the Bible and I read Luke 12, verse 48. That's the verse that in part says, "To whom much is given, much is expected." And I have been given so much in my life. I've had so many blessings. Honestly, good things just seem to follow me. I feel like I can say I've been the recipient of uncommon favor, most, if not all of it, unearned. So that verse, it really hit me hard. And I feel like I have to make my life count. So that's what put me into action mode.
Oh, wow. That is profound. And so, who's the ideal investor for the opportunity that Beyond the Legacy Collective offers?
That would be people who are looking to invest in a safe way. And ideally, the demographic we're looking to bring on board are immigrants to Canada, as well as second generation Canadians. But we do accept investment from anyone.
Okay. Tekesai, I just want to circle back onto the name before we go any further. So, can you tell me where the name came from?
So Precious actually is the one who came up with the name. I don't
Mhm.
really know where he got it from, but we like the name and we like the meaning. And, the funny thing is, after reading Luke 12, verse 48, there was a time when I became so fixated on there either being a 12 or a 48 in the name. This was when we were trying to find a name or come up with a name for it. And
Mhm.
I was quite adamant about that. So we'd get so excited, find name, and then find, oh, there's already a name like that, and company existing with that name. So ultimately, Beyond the Legacy Collective does not have a 12 or a 48. But funny enough, there is significance, which we discovered this about a month after we decided on the name. So BTLC, Beyond the Legacy Collective, are the initials. Branham is Precious's other name, T, initial for Tekesai, C for the other partner, Clement, and then the L for Luke 12:48.
Oh,
So
wow.
to us, it's also a daily reminder, again, to whom much is given, much is expected. So we know that we have a great responsibility to look after the resources of people who trust in us.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm glad we followed up on that one. That's pretty amazing. And so now diving into a little bit more of your mission, it does emphasize collaboration. So in practice, what does that mean?
Yes, so I'll give you a story to illustrate what we mean when we say that. Around 2008, 2009, in Durban, South Africa, I was working as an intern medical doctor, and that was one of the times where there was a lot of xenophobia, a lot of violence against Black males. So I remember that one of the patients who came in, it was a young Black male. I cannot remember the reason why he came in, but he kept on asking me, why don't you speak Zulu? Why don't you speak Zulu? On the other hand, during the same period, there was another also young Black man. He came in because he had some type of injury. And, these guys, a lot of them, when they would come in, they would be so drunk, unfortunately. And for that reason, they were not treated very well. But this man, the next morning after he had sobered up, he came to me and he said, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I'm a poor man off the street, yet you treated me so well. You treated me with so much dignity. And that really stuck with me. So I give that example to say those are two people just like me, but with totally different mindsets. One of them saw me as an enemy, the other saw me as someone who could help him, someone he could work with. So when we say a spirit of collaboration, firstly, we mean people having that mindset where they see other minorities and feel like, how can we help each other? And then the second thing is, in a practical sense, we hope to inspire people through our actions to want to do more for others and with each other. For example, 1 or 2 months ago, for our existing clients, we did a third party gift giving where we asked the clients to nominate someone who they believe is experiencing financial difficulty, and we made financial contributions to them.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, being a newer company in Canada, how do you think that works in your favor when you're trying to connect with clients?
So there are multiple benefits. One of them is that the company is currently so small that we truly, truly value each and every client. And we believe that they can feel our appreciation for them. Another benefit is that we are easy to contact and we respond promptly. And this next one, don't hold me to it, but I know that often in the future, when companies become very successful financially, they often look back and see, who was it who believed in us mostly right at the beginning, and there may be additional financial benefit to those people. And also, to me, very importantly, they can be part of a powerful story from early on.
Okay. And I know you've given your a little bit of history with your experiences in South Africa, and then having come to Canada, where you're also labeled as an immigrant, right? And that word in itself carries a lot of weight. So how do you approach that in your work or in your messaging as a BTLC?
So it is true. I agree with you that that word can carry a lot of negative connotation. I remember when I came to Canada, that was in 2011. At that time, my goal was to stay here for 2 or 3 years and then go back to live in Zimbabwe. And I told 2 or 3 people who were born in Canada that. And they would look at me like so shocked, like wondering, like, why would you ever go back to a country like that? So certainly I know it can come with a lot of negative connotations. So what we try to do is through platforms such as this, as well as in our one-on-one conversations with people, is to make it clear that this is not a charity and to emphasize the positive things about immigrants. You know, people, yes, most people move to different countries because they're looking for a better life. But often the situation they're coming from in their home countries is not dire. Some people may simply move because, for example, they've got a relative who lives elsewhere. And then, of course, immigrants often have expertise that locals do not have. So they contribute a lot economically, both in Canada and across the world to the countries that they live in, as well as other things like just in diversity of thinking, fun things like festivals, and different types of food. So we definitely will see the term and the word immigrant as something that should have overwhelmingly positive connotations.
Okay. And as a follow-up to that, so how will you make sure that people, as in everyone else, know you're inclusive while still sticking to that mission?
Yeah, so that is important. So we do make it clear that we do not discriminate, again, in one-on-one conversations, as well as we hope to do it through platforms such as this, that we do not discriminate. We do not see ourselves as superior to anyone. Our goal is equality. And in a practical sense, we do accept money from anyone, even people who do not fit that primary target demographic. And I would like to emphasize that we're so grateful to be living in this amazing country, Canada, and particularly grateful to the First Nations peoples whose ancestors were the original stewards of this land.
That's right. Okay, as we wrap up, Tekesai, what's one thing you want viewers and listeners to walk away with after watching this video?
So I'm going to ask to cheat on this one. I'll give you 2 sets of things that I'd like people to
Go
take
for
away.
it.
The first one is that though our company, primarily we want to improve people's financial lives, but we would not like people to look at it as just having money for, cash money's sake. We'd like them to look at it as how can it enhance their lives in general. I've read some studies that say that when immigrants come into Canada, usually the household net worth and income is less than people who were born in Canada. But over time, that difference can actually be eroded, although it can take a long time, sometimes decades. However, in our opinion, even when the financial disparity goes away or the gap is narrowed, there's still an ongoing deficit in other types of wealth. For example, people often still live far away from their birth families. So when people have more money, more financial resources, they would have the ability to, for example, bring their relatives here when they have a baby to help them out and have money to travel to attend important events. Unfortunately, I believe that many people know of people who had people very close to them die, such as a parent, and they were unable to travel simply because of not having enough money. So we'd like people to see the improvement in their financial well-being as part of improving their lives in general. The second set of things I'd like people to take away is just a summary about our company. So we are mission driven. We are committed to the mission and to our goals, which means treating people well and doing what we say we're going to do. And with Precious and Clement on board, we have some serious expertise on the team. And we just genuinely care about people.
Well, I really resonate with the first example that you gave us as well. We are a family of five, so a trip back home is a lot of money. So
Right? Yes.
sometimes you're caught in between the middle, right? There's a death in the family. Do we go or do we rather send that money? So thank you for doing such an amazing thing. Tekesai, anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
I can't think of anything. So thank you for allowing us to share this with
Yeah,
people.
it was really lovely having you. So thank you too.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you.